Alright guys, I'm back with another video. So I already actually recorded this, but I thought I was recording it, but I wasn't actually recording it. I'd actually stopped recording it. By default this is going to be turned off, but this is a distance-based aim offset, and I'll explain to you why that's distance-based. So normally whenever we calculate the aim offset, we just get the control rotation, which is the rotation of the camera, or we get the base aim rotation, which is also the rotation of the camera if you're a player. But anyway, the point is that when you get that, the actual aim offset is not 100% accurate. So as you can see right here, these two lines are parallel. That means if you're aiming right here on the ground, then he's still going to be pointing straight. He's not going to be pointing over here on the ground. You see? So he's not going to be pointing over here. He's going to be pointing straight. Also, that means the projectiles also get shot this way as well, instead of down here towards the center of the screen with the current setup that I have. And so I'm not going to manually calculate the center of the screen to shoot the projectiles to. Instead, I'll just have it set up so that the gun aims at the center of the screen and then it shoots the projectiles down the gun. And since that's so accurate for this guy, it shouldn't be a problem for you. So anyway, so I'll probably have to work on my debugger setup in order to actually fix that, because right now it doesn't support that. So when you go to zero your characters, you'll want to make sure this is disabled before you zero your characters. And if I disable this, you'll see what it looks like whenever we're not using this method. And you'll see that this is the center of the screen, but he's aiming over here, you see? And that's because he is aiming parallel to the line that's shooting from the camera to this location on the ground, but that's the problem, is he's actually aiming parallel to that. He's not aiming at that location on the ground. So in order to achieve that, you have to run this on an event tick, which is why I'm going to have it disabled by default. If you want to enable it, you can go over here under DAO, aim, distance, and right here use distance-based AO. You're going to want to check that. Also, you might want to read these descriptions on some of these variables too. Sometimes I'll leave descriptions for you to explain things. So this was the method I almost went with until I figured out how to prevent this feedback loop right here on this guy. There was a feedback loop whenever he would be aiming down with the pistol, only with the pistol for some weird reason. So what I actually ended up doing is I actually ended up offsetting it back, which is why if I do this print debug thing right here, you'll notice that it actually starts from behind his hand. Oh, it's not enabled. Might help. Yeah, so you'll see it actually starts from back here. And yeah, so that's actually supposed to be offset up here. I'm not exactly sure why it's not, but it's still accurate. Yeah, it's still accurate. So the reason why it's probably, well, I don't actually know why it's not, because it's starting at that hand location and then it's ending. Right, okay. Well, I don't know. I might look into that later. It's just a small discrepancy there, but oh, right. Basically, it's because I'm getting a directional vector pointing from the hand to the hit location. That might be why it's still accurate. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. But anyway, yeah, so if you come over here to So this is going to be disabled by default. But if you come over here to the held object guns, and you can get to that by right clicking and editing this, and then going to the parent right here where this pin icon is, and then going into the basic projectile. That's where this is, but this is actually what we're looking for. So right here, by default, we're going to use the base aim rotation. But right here, the projectile aim rotation, if you this will be enabled by default, which means we'll be using the base aim rotation. If you disable this, then we'll actually just be shooting down the barrel of the weapon. Now, if you want to replicate this, you're going to have to replicate this yourself, and I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. So I'll just copy this, and then on the event graph, I'll just plug that into there, and then over here, I'll plug that in. And so what's happening is the client is firing this, and then he's sending this information to the server. We're doing a weak server validation just to make sure that the location that he's being sent isn't too far away. And then if it's not too far away, then the server will spawn the projectile. So that's how that works. So actually, let me just come over here. And I'll make sure that's disabled. And I'll enable this. And then I'll just make sure that you guys understand fully. So this time I'll just grab the rifle. So yeah. Yeah, anyway, that's basically the rundown on this update. I'm going to disable this, and over here I'm going to enable this, and then I'm going to push this. Now there is another bug. I'll fix it tomorrow. I'll go ahead and show you what it is. If I come over here and pick up a rifle, and then I pick up a pistol, it drops the rifle. I'm aware of that. So somebody pointed out one bug to me, and when I fixed that bug, it caused this other bug. I'll fix this bug later, probably tomorrow. But anyway, it's getting late, and I've spent almost my entire Saturday on I've spent half of my Saturday working on this problem. Also, I'm going to go ahead and leave that crosshair in there. If you want to disable it, you can go to the character blueprint and go to the event graph. And right here, you can just remove this. So this is only there for testing purposes, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it in there. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.